Alrighty, so in our shared commitment to our art and our artwork and starting off new and fresh, I forgot, but I'm going to address several different things this morning. First of all, I've committed not only to better videos and to producing more artwork and conveying a lighter message than I've been able to for quite a while, and being more helpful in that direction. I've also committed to exercise, a little bit of exercise. As you've probably heard me say a million times, I have an illness called RSD-CRPS, and it's a neurological disorder similar to fibromyalgia, but as doctors have told me, it's far more intense. So last week I made a couple of videos, and I know they felt strained. It's because I was having really bad attacks. In one, I was seeing sparklies. The one where I talked about the new shipment coming in, I was seeing sparklies, flashes of light almost, like just pew, 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 and having little seizures. In another video, I had almost completely lost use of my legs. And that went on all last week and pretty much the week before, and I'm not really sure why. So I haven't been exercising, and in losing Bugsy, at my job, I went from walking 4, 5, 6 miles a day down to maybe leaving my house a couple times a week. So my butt has gotten bigger sitting in front of the computer. I haven't really gained any weight. It's just kind of redistributed itself. So I have committed to myself to walk, and normally just a half-mile walk over the past few months has left me completely exhausted, and having symptoms come on that leave me incapacitated for hours and hours, 6 to 12 to 18 hours. But we're going to give it a try anyway. There is no, just so you know, if you go in my comment section and try and say, well, you could build up your tolerance, there is no building up tolerance with RSD-CRPS. What happens is, and I'll make this as quick as possible, as quick as I do. A friend of mine said, think of it as a drawer full of spoons, and you have one stack of spoons. And you take a spoon out, and that's the activity. Boom, and you put it to the side. You take out another spoon, and that's another activity. And those activities one activity can be making your bed, another activity taking a shower, another activity vacuuming, another activity just going to the grocery store, never mind walking around and picking things up. So eventually you run out of spoons, you run out of energy, and the only thing you're capable of doing is laying down and trying to recoup. And a lot of days that's me just laying there doing, I'm being honest now, laying on the couch or sitting in a chair as comfortably as I possibly can, going, that's a lot of my days. And when I get very, very sick, I can't tell if I'm awake or asleep. I can't remember words. It's a lot of that. If you've ever seen the Lady Gaga documentary, there is a point where she has a fibromyalgia attack. And it's very close to what I go through, only I don't have anyone serving me tea and packing pillows under my butt. But I'm recommitting myself to walking, which was always one of my favorite activities, because we have to stop the spread. We have to get it under control, because the pants that were big on me are fitting again, and we don't want that. All right, that's number one little issue. Number two, committing to artwork again and discussing art. I bought something I haven't purchased before by Montana. It's a chalk spray. And according to the description, it's supposed to adhere to everything. and absolutely every surface, right down to rubber and plastic. And it's supposed to be unremovable. That's one of the things they sell this as for street art, for graffiti work, is that you spray it on and they can't get it off the wall. And that's supposed to be a selling point. I am telling you, it comes off like that. I've tried using it. I can't show you this picture because it's a special commission, and the person that is getting it as a gift, as a surprise. So I can't show you, but I'm using it in this portrait. And I thought, oh, this is great. I can try it out. Once I applied oil paint with mineral spirits, it lifted right up and into the bright colors I was using, the oranges and reds. So this is probably good for just making a chalkboard for yourself or for your kids, but it's not really good for graffiti work, especially if you're mixing in, you know, other materials. Like I do a lot of mixed media. So that's number one. Number two, we're gonna get back to this guy. This is a 2-portrait, 2-panel piece that I put to the side for a very long time because I got frustrated, and dealing with the last 4 years, everything just started to feel mired, and I didn't want to approach it again till I could see it with fresh eyes. I made the mistake of making both the figures on both panels, and I've got the husband over there, we've got the wife here. The head's too big, the figure's too big, they were going off the canvas. It was just really ridiculous. And I was so mired in sadness and frustration that I couldn't figure it out. And I have literally spent days and days and days and days and days and days and days trying to recalculate them, and they're still not right. But I think I'm gonna do a live feed video where I'm listening to my radio show or a podcast or something, and you guys are just painting along. But I know what I'm gonna be doing now. I'm coming in with more of the floral and the abstract designs, and we're gonna work on reconfiguring the figures. Let's try and get that right. That would be a nice surprise. It's been pretty disappointing for me because I can usually figure things out, sometimes, most of the time, pretty quickly. And that one I was not figuring out. And I do not want to disappoint my friend who ordered them. So I'm going, now that we're feeling lighter and better, we're going back in and we're going to address it. Now this I started forever ago. Forever. Probably 7 months ago, and I just put it to the side. And this is the reference material. But I put it to the side, and I'm glad I did, because I was going in with my dour colors in expressing African American children. And I was thinking about it again this morning and last night, and it really, not everything has to be sad and dour. That's not who these children are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Life is no picnic, but come on. So what I want to do is really express an inner spirit filled with color and life. And get away a little bit from this, you know, everything's horrible. Really, life was no picnic. Life is no picnic for most African Americans. But I need to also address them as people. As people. People with lives and character and a vibrancy. So I'm going to lay this out really quick. I want to add texture. I want to add more color. But I want to add some of my aerosols too. So glad I didn't go all the way in. Just kind of throw in the towel. Not really throw in the towel, but just leave them, leave them expressing a sad and depressing feeling. They are young. They are the future. Let's have them looking towards the future, shall we? So as you can see, I'm putting in vertical lines in a couple of different widths. I should be wearing a mask, I'm not. I have one little door open over here. And I'm using blue because this young lady is wearing a white linen dress. A white linen cotton dress, and this is one of my favorite things to paint. The little one next to her is wearing a little suit, like a jumper. This is another one. I never got the proportions right, and it drove me insane. Look at how her head is almost off the canvas. Now I'm imagining the little suit that our second figure is wearing is wool and brown. But I don't want to give a brown. All right, you know what? Let's get a little bit of the face in first. I think I've made her just too large, but this is all some things that can be corrected. Okay, I can't spray your face because I've already done that in oils, unfortunately. Okay, hands. Actually, I laid this out all wrong, but I'm not going back in. I'm just going to edit my reference material and make it work. We'll need to elongate her face, which is not that big a deal. I do love the shadowy feel of her, but this is also me picking out, not only laying this out incorrectly, but possibly picking out the wrong size canvas and saying, this will work. This really should have been 4 feet. It's 3 feet by 2 feet, I believe, and it should have been 4 feet by 2 feet, each canvas, I mean. But you can only do what you can do. All right, my little friend. And as you can see, I don't really worry about going outside the lines of the figure. I just add the lines because it can all be adjusted and readjusted using oils. And I want to make sure that I take the colors and just don't keep them to one section, but I make everything flow through color and movement. Kind of a bold little line there. I've got her face in teals. He'll be in teals and blues as well. I'm going to lighten them up. But then I like to add color for hands sometimes. And since we're striving for liveliness instead of being dour, we're going to add some color to the hands. And as you can see, I can remove color when it's fresh. You can remove some of the aerosol. And what's nice is, whoop, you don't want it on that oil. What's really nice is, like right here, it has kind of an odd look. I don't know if you can see it. It kind of looks like the outline of a very skinny, thin penis. But I can take that and play. Okay, bad choice of words after using penis in a sentence, but I can take the outline and the idea of her hand and really play with color. Like I said, bad choice. Play is a bad choice after saying penis. But play with color and design within the outline and on the outside of the outline, and then using the outline itself. And there as well. It's one of the things I really, really love about aerosol is you can kind of push it around a little bit. Oh, the hand's in the wrong place. You see, I'm not afraid of adjusting and readjusting. This was actually in the wrong place. I looked back at the reference material. The lines aren't matching up. The shapes aren't matching up. I had her arm out too far. But I've also got enough confidence and experience to know it can be fixed. It's all fixable. One of the 3 rules. It doesn't matter. It's all fixable. What's the third one? Okay, it doesn't matter, it's all fixable, and there really are no rules. And I may decide to come back in and change big portions of it. I can already see it coming, so I just don't worry about it. I just put down the colors and we work from there. It's kind of trial by oopsie. And it's okay. I know people who have to have everything planned out and have to have everything exact. And I can't do that. This is an adventure. Creating artwork is an adventure. Okay, this is incredibly abstract right now. It's just a sketch. And there we go. Now I've got a place to start. I know it doesn't look that way. It looks kind of crazy, but I've got a really good place to start in lightening and brightening this guy up. I'm going to figure out what to do in the background, which is going to be very similar to the wedding portraits, I think, with the flowers and the growth. The flowers and the abstract designs. I think that'll be super fun. But also keeping their kind of seriousness and their intensity as well. They have a very, we're being cautious look and feel to them for whatever reason. So I want to hang on to that. I don't want them light and feathery, joyful little children who have no problems in the world. There are no issues going on. But we don't need to make them feel dead and stale either. So I'm going to work on that. But again, I'm going to go shower. I'm going to stick to my commitments. I'm going to go shower. I'm going to go for a walk, a 2-hour walk. Hopefully I won't be completely drained by the time I get back, and then we can get to work. Hopefully my spirits have been lifted enough in the past couple of days by the Biden administration and the inauguration last night. Oh my God, the inauguration celebrations last night were unfriggin' believable. I can't tell you what it's done for my spirit to see the Lincoln Memorial reclaimed. I don't want to talk about him very, I will try not to talk about him. I want to put him in the rear view mirror and move forward with everyone. But 45 did this pathetic interview at the Lincoln Memorial where he sat there whining and crying and talking about how he was better than, he was more hated than Lincoln, but he was better than Lincoln, that he was best and blah, blah, blah. It was just pathetic and so heartbreaking. As an American, my heart is never broken for him, never. It's not broken for him, it was broken for America. My heart was broken for the United States and the citizens of the United States. And watching this piece of trash, shit all over Lincoln Memorial basically with his mouth, just killed me. And I was thinking, I can never go back to Washington, D.C. again. He's just sickening, beyond sickening. But now he's been impeached a second time. He's looking at a litany of charges, state and federal charges. He actually charges overseas as well. So he's gone for the most part. And Biden and Harris were inaugurated. And at last night's inauguration celebration, they reclaimed the Lincoln Memorial. It was the most cleansing feeling in the world to see Tom Hanks in front of the Lincoln Memorial and all these wonderful performers, singing and just celebrating the end of probably, all right, if not one of the darkest times in American history, the darkest time in American history. And I felt them take the United States government, or take Washington, D.C. and say, it's yours again. This nation doesn't belong to one human being. We are no longer going to run ourselves ragged, boosting up one human being's ego. This is our country. This is our memorial. This is our nation's capital. Let's celebrate it, and let's celebrate it through the arts. That's what I saw last night. This morning I went on Yahoo News, and there was a live feed of the Bidens and the Harrises at an in White House church service. And I don't do church, but they're being so open and showing almost everything. I think if the American people asked, we could follow Biden into the potty. They're just filming everything. They're showing everything. Whereas before, everything was hidden and in the dark. And because they were doing things that we would all be ashamed of. And we are ashamed, or most of us are ashamed of. So I just feel lightened and brightened and joyful and hopeful. And let's work for the future, for our own futures together. Again, I'm going to go shower, go for a walk, and then hopefully I won't be totally drained and we can do a live feed, okay? We can just work together. All right, see you in a little bit, one way or another, all right? Ciao. Ciao. Oh, I forgot. Ready? Let's redo. Oh, I haven't done this in a while. Oh, lest ye forget, if you'd like to help support Studio 120, we have Patreon. Patreon is monthly support, and thank you to all my Patreon supporters for hanging in there with me and providing monthly support. You've helped to keep internet on and help me to buy paints and all kinds of things. If you'd like to supply a one-time tip, you can go to Cash App at Beck22583, Beck, B-E-C-K 2583, or PayPal, becklane@ymail.com, becklane@ymail.com. It's like yahoo.com, but without the ahoo part, becklane@ymail.com. And don't forget to go to TeePublic, T-E-E, Public. There's links to everything down below. Everybody who's gotten a t-shirt or anything through TeePublic has written and said how much they love the TeePublic t-shirts and sweatshirts and posters. Apparently the t-shirts and sweatshirts are super soft, super comfy. I know I bought a mug, it's around here somewhere, that I bought from another TeePublic member. I've gotten a couple of stickers and I'm really, really happy. The quality is great. The colors are great. And they're not expensive either. So go on TeePublic. The link is down below. If you'd like to connect to any of these links or you have any questions, everything's down below. All right, so let's do the Patreon jingle. Ready? Punky, little Punky in North Carolina. Ready? Patreon. Hashtag cats. Punk, punk, punk. Meow, meow, meow. And Carrie, you ready? I'll see you in a little bit, pal. All right. Ciao. Ciao. Ready, Carrie? Here we go. Boink.